I don't know why. She told me it's not your fault, but you don't realize that I never wonder what's the truth in your eyes. There's a light that makes me blush. I won't look back when you're alone. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to pull me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're alone. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to pull me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in today. Let's talk about the race at the Herrin compound with South Carolina Mini GP. So here lately, I've been having a lot of issues with my GoPro and the mic adapter, and it's been kind of a mess. Come to find out, this is somewhat a common problem. The mic adapter, I'm not too sure exactly what happens, but with the USB-C connection, it doesn't always connect, and I have been losing a lot of footage due to this fact. So this happened at this race, unfortunately, so let's just go ahead and recap what happened right here, right now. So if you're not familiar with South Carolina Mini GP, here is their information right here. Head on over to that website and be sure to check them out. They've got plenty of race classes, anything from kids running 50cc bikes all the way up to guys and professional racers running, you know, Ovales or Oval, Ovale, it's one of those. On up to guys running supermotos with 450s, and it's crazy. It's wild to see these guys race. So it doesn't matter if you're a newer rider, an experienced rider, you can hop on track with South Carolina Mini GP. They make it so easy and simple, even if you don't have a bike and gear. And if it's something you want to try out, you know, you can go up, show up, pay online, register for a track that's near you through the website. They provide bikes and gear rentals at a very inexpensive cost. And it's great if you're thinking about getting on track and wanting to ride and experience that. Or just overall, if you don't want to completely dive into it, you can try it out, but I guarantee you'll be hooked. So the way South Carolina runs their events is they have 2 heat races with 1 main race. And in those 2 heat races, whatever you finish, that determines your next race position. So heat 1, your spot is registered off of how soon you registered online. So it's very, very highly recommended if you want to be very, very competitive and upfront, basically get the whole shot, as they like to say. You have to register super, super early as soon as the event is posted. But if you don't care about that, it doesn't matter. Register at your convenience, but that does determine your grid position in heat 1. Heat 2! Heat 2 is based off your heat 1 finish, and if you moved up, you moved up. If you fell back, you fall back. And then heat 2 determines your position in race number 1, and that is the main and final race, where that's for all the marbles, as they say. Both heat races, 1 and 2, are a total of 5 laps each, and then the main race, the Goat's Pajamas, that race is 10 laps. So you've got plenty of time to make up some time if you messed up in heat races, but you also have time to pull away or try to keep that lead if you finished very well in your heat races. You get 2 practice sessions of the morning, each lasting 15 minutes each. And if you sign up for multiple classes, you can double that and get an hour's worth of practice. I highly recommend that, especially if you're going to a newer track. My bike, my Z125, you can race F2 and Super Mini, and I think you can race a couple more, but I cannot race F1 because I'm over 125 cc's. So practice went well. I did some gearing changes from what I'm used to running the Herrin compound. The Z gearing is very, very different from the Grom And even in stock gearing, I was running out of gear when I was going around the track, especially in second gear. So I've changed the gearing down 1 up 2, and that was specifically for Atlanta Motorsports Park, which worked out phenomenal. That was a first place finish in F2. Very surprised and very, very happy I pulled that off. But at Herrin, I knew it was going to be a completely different story, as everyone is competitive here because plenty of people have multiple hours of seat time here. So the gearing was fine. It wasn't too off. The A racer helped out a lot, making sure that RPM range was, or red line range I should say, was at 12,000 RPM, which gave me enough to get where I needed to be. With feeling good in practice, heat race 1, I started pole because I registered very early. I held on to the lead for about half the race, and then the last 2 laps, I got passed by a gentleman named Cecil on an XR 1000 because it is making a ton of power. Heat race 2. I ended up having a pretty good start. I made some mistakes, which dropped me behind into 4th. No big deal, I was able to keep pace, but as I was going around the back straight, the inevitable happened. I actually went down, which was really an odd spot for anyone to really wreck. I calculated the speed, I pulled up on GoPro, the GPS, and it said I was going at 50 when I went down. It was not a big deal, it was just a simple low side. But what was odd about it was I couldn't remember if I lost the rear or front because it happened so quick. Other odd part about it is the rear end was feeling really squirmy, almost like the tire was folding over on itself, so I couldn't really figure it out. I had Blake Davis behind me who was breathing down my neck, and I believe he put some oil on my tire, which made me fall. But besides that point, he came over to me, made sure I was all right after the race, and it was no big deal. Got up, finished the race. He said he looked like I lost the front. After watching the video, it's really tough to say. I think they went at the same time because I feel like I lost the rear under throttle because that tire was squirming, but the front end just basically went out really, really quick. So still kind of confused at what happened. Obviously, you've been watching the footage yourself, so comment below on what you think happened. With this ultimate turn in events, I had to start dead last in my final race, in the main race, the one for the bee's knees. So I was a little bummed, yeah, but I knew I couldn't turn down the challenge, and I gave it my all. So in F2, there was about 13 riders, I believe. Started in the last of the pack. The start was a mess. The guy in front of me stalled out. That was a last-minute swerve to get around him. First couple of turns, or the first section of that track, I could not get around one of the guys on an XR100. Very aggressive racer, very good racer, and he held his line very well. But once we got on the back straight, I was able to go right by him with the 143 kit from TB Parts, which was great. Once I got in my groove there, I battled 2 KX65s for the next couple positions. Those guys are always on it. They gave me a run for my money. And then once I worked my way past Resendez, which he had a cramp issue, which was able to get me right by him, he ended up passing me on the back straight because I had a false neutral. So it's always a good battle riding with him. Ended up getting back in front of him. I was able to keep pace to the front runners, but I wasn't able to close in the gap on the rest of the laps. I believe there was like 3 laps to go once I got in 5th, and that's what I ended up doing. I went from 13th to 5th in about 6 or 7 laps. Had 3 laps to go, just couldn't close the gap. I'm second in the championship points behind Juju. He was in a really good position. I think he ended up being, no, he actually won the event. I'm sorry, he actually won the event. I got 5th. I was only 2 points behind him. Now I'm about 16, I think it is. It's a really big gap I got to close up. So hopefully at mid-pond, who knows what will happen. This championship series has been crazy thus far. That was only our 3rd race. CMP, AMP, and Herrin are in the books. You never would have expected that this would have happened. It's been a wild ride, and it is so fun. You know, you watch MotoGP or Formula One, you watch those guys keep up with stats and the races and the numbers, and it draws you in, it pulls you in. And this is kind of the same thing, but you're actually participating in the event, and everyone in each class, everyone is counting the points, seeing where they're at. And it's great, it's good competition, it's friendly competition. And again, even for the newer riders, they're loving it because they're learning so much. They're sharing the track with semi-pros and professional riders. Stefano Mesa came out and rode with us one time. It has been an absolute blast. So next race is June 1st at Mid-Pond in Alabama. Here is the information for that right here on the screen. Also, the information will be down in the link, down in the description below to a link that'll take you there. So it'd be great. Come on out if you want to watch. It's going to be a fun track. You can see the whole track there, but I encourage you to sign up and race. This track is new for me. It's new for a lot of riders. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I can't wait. And then after that, we're going to be at the Barber Smallbore, which is going to be awesome. So if you want to keep up with the championship series and the racing that's going on, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because I will be throwing these out like fireballs. I can't wait to share the rest of the year with you guys. I can't wait to see you hopefully out at the track. And if you have any questions on how to get started, what you need, what kind of gear, anything like that, leave a comment below. And if you're watching and you want to help some of those guys out, comment as well. And we'll be sure to help you put you in the right direction. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.